The fat man falsely claimed to be a pure-blooded German. The German soldiers pulled down his pants, confirmed he was Jewish, immediately dragged him to the back and executed him. The Jewish boy who witnessed this immediately removed his red scarf and destroyed his identification documents because he was a Jew. The German soldiers approached and interrogated him. The boy, speaking fluent German, pretended to be aggrieved, claiming he was a pure German who had just escaped from a Soviet orphanage. He grew more agitated as he spoke. The soldiers were fooled by his acting and took him to their superior for further verification. Facing the officer's questioning, the boy answered smoothly. He repeated his orphan background story, but the officer didn't believe him, then asked for his parents' names. In his earlier excitement, he had forgotten to fabricate their names. Just then, an old soldier spoke up in his defense. At that moment, the Germans captured a Soviet officer. A dispute arose due to the language barrier. The boy was called to translate. They learned the officer was Stalin's son. The Germans were overjoyed, crediting the boy for the success. They took photos with him to celebrate. From then on, the boy moved among the Germans, gaining their trust through flawless deception, until one day, a prisoner recognized him, exposing his Jewish identity on the spot. Luckily, the Germans couldn't understand. They ordered the boy to translate, but he claimed not to know the man, then slapped him across the face. This act delighted the Nazis. Enraged, the prisoner lunged to attack him. In the end, the Germans executed the troublemaker. The boy was instead promoted. Not long after, they seized a Soviet position and captured an enemy radio. Just as the boy was about to translate its contents, 3 comrades were killed by a sniper. To save himself, he decided to defect to the Soviets. The boy contacted the Soviets via radio, pretending to be a spy. They agreed on a secret code. That night, he ran toward the Soviet camp. Just as he raised his hands to surrender, the Soviets opposite him lowered their weapons and raised their hands instead. The boy was stunned. At that moment, a group of German soldiers charged out, shouting slogans. As it turned out, they saw the boy running alone toward enemy lines, assuming he was avenging his comrades. Deeply moved and inspired, they followed him into battle. His failed defection turned him into a hero. His deeds reached the colonel's ears. When the colonel saw him, he posed a deadly question. Who is our enemy? Nervously, the boy answered, the Soviets. But the colonel shook his head, said the war was waged against the Jews. As long as they existed, the war would never end. The boy was horrified. He couldn't understand. Where did this deep hatred come from? In the end, the Jewish boy was recommended for an elite school in Berlin for his military merits. At the heart of hatred, he continued his dangerous game.